What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Alright, let's get the show started. Recently, UFC commentator Daniel Cormier found himself the subject of a lighthearted troll from a UFC employee after a bizarre yet relatable situation involving fighter Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell, known for his down-to-earth personality, recently revealed that he had broken his nose badly during a training session. The injury left him bleeding heavily, and instead of rushing to the hospital, Bryce took to social media to ask his fans for help. Concerned about the high cost of medical treatment, he appealed to anyone nearby who could fix his nose for free. In a video, Mitchell said, "Hey, I'm in Searcy, Arkansas right now. I just got my nose broken, and it's sideways. The doctors are charging like $2,000 just to set it straight. If anyone around here can fix my nose for free, please message me. It just needs to be pulled and set back in place." His raw honesty and desperation caught the attention of fans and fighters alike. Sean Strickland, never one to stay silent, initially commented that Mitchell should simply get medical assistance through the UFC. However, Strickland later corrected himself, explaining that the promotion only covers medical expenses for fighters who currently have a bout scheduled. He wrote on social media, "Well, I was wrong. You have to have a fight booked to get medical from the UFC. LMAO. What a joke." Just hours later, Mitchell returned online to share an update that left fans both relieved and amused. "I wanted to let ye all know I'm doing really good and wasn't in any pain at all," he said cheerfully. "My buddy fixed my nose for free, and for whatever reason, it just didn't hurt." The clip quickly spread across MMA communities, sparking conversations about fighter healthcare and how UFC athletes often rely on personal connections during downtime. While the situation ended well for Bryce, it also highlighted the struggles many fighters face outside the octagon. As for Daniel Cormier, the veteran commentator couldn't resist reacting to the chaos with his trademark humor, only to be playfully roasted by a UFC staff member afterward. The entire incident became a viral reminder of how unpredictable and entertaining the MM world can be, both inside and outside the cage. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for latest MMA updates. We truly value your support and need your help to grow. Move on to another news. TJ Dillashaw has sparked controversy after suggesting that Tom Aspinall may have exaggerated the severity of his eye poke against Cyril Gane, implying that the British heavyweight might have taken the easy way out. During a recent discussion, Dillashaw analyzed the fight and questioned Aspinall's reaction following the accidental foul. According to Dillashaw, Cyril Gane appeared far more composed and strategic during the exchange. "He's picking his shots better," Dillashaw explained. "He's seeing the openings, staying patient, and circling outside. Gane's approach was more calculated compared to Aspinall, who tends to rush forward, throw with power, and look for a quick knockout." Dillashaw then addressed the controversial moment when Aspinall was poked in the eye. "From the way it looked, his eye was already closed when he got poked," he said. "He was saying he couldn't see, but he didn't even try to open his eye to check if he could. Obviously, I don't know for sure. I wasn't there, but when you look at the pictures afterward, his eye looks fine. I've seen fighters take a full finger in the eye and keep fighting." He went on to admit that his opinion was speculative, but doubled down on his suspicion. "It's all speculation, but it felt like he might have taken the easier way out. It ended as a no contest, which means he still gets paid and gets to come back for a rematch. He probably made around $3 million for that fight. Even if it didn't go the distance, he still gets paid as if he did." The panel then discussed how fighter contracts differ, noting that some competitors receive flat fees while others get show and win money. Dillashaw pointed out that once a fighter steps inside the octagon, they're entitled to payment regardless of how the fight ends. "You could step in, the bell rings, and if you tap immediately, you still get paid," he said. "But the UFC will likely never bring you back after that." When asked if anyone on the panel had ever been eye poked during a fight, multiple hands went up. "Of course," Dillashaw acknowledged. "It happens all the time, but none of us ever gave up because of it." He concluded by emphasizing the importance of a fighter's mentality, suggesting that champions push through adversity. While Dillashaw clarified that he wasn't accusing Aspinall outright, his comments have stirred debate across the MMA community about toughness, risk, and fighter responsibility in the face of fouls. Move on to another news. Umar Nurmagomedov, the younger cousin of legendary former lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov, made a successful return to the octagon at UFC 321, reclaiming his momentum after suffering the first loss of his professional MMA career earlier this year. The talented Dagestani fighter, known for his technical precision and relentless pace, had fallen short in his January bout against Merab Dvalishvili. That defeat temporarily halted his rise but did little to shake his championship ambitions. On October 25th, Nurmagomedov faced Mario Bautista on the UFC 321 main card, marking a pivotal moment in his comeback journey. Over the course of 3 hard-fought rounds, Umar demonstrated his trademark control, mixing sharp striking with well-timed grappling exchanges. Despite being rocked by a vicious flying knee midway through the fight, he maintained composure and rallied to outpoint Bautista, ultimately earning a unanimous decision victory inside Etihad Arena. The win snapped Bautista's impressive 8-fight winning streak and reaffirmed Nurmagomedov's status as one of the division's most promising contenders. However, not everyone in the MMA community was convinced that the performance proved he could fare better in a potential rematch with Dvalishvili. Critics pointed out that while Umar's defensive movement and fight IQ remain elite, he struggled to dominate in the same fashion that once made him a feared rising star. Still, within the bantamweight division, respect for Nurmagomedov's skill set runs deep. One of the weight class's all-time greats recently voiced his belief that Umar has all the tools to close the gap and evolve into a legitimate title threat. The Dagestani's calm mindset, strong wrestling base, and improving striking arsenal could be key to a different outcome should he cross paths with Dvalishvili again. For now, the win at UFC 321 marks a much-needed step forward for Umar Nurmagomedov. After months of reflection and adjustment, he has reminded the world of his potential and reignited the conversation about whether another Nurmagomedov could soon be wearing UFC gold. Move on to another news. A troubling update has emerged regarding UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall's eye injury following his controversial bout at UFC 321. The incident, which ended his fight prematurely, has drawn both concern and criticism from fans and fighters across the MMA world. In a recent discussion, Aspinall's father shed light on the seriousness of the injury, emphasizing that it was more severe than many realize. He expressed frustration that some people within the sport seem to care more about profit and public perception than the fighter's health. If they really care about people, they should take action, he said. I'm in this sport because I love it. I want to share it with my son and spend time with my kids. But for others, it's all about reporting back to shareholders and making money. The remarks highlighted the growing tension between athlete safety and the commercial demands of the fight business. Aspinall's father stressed that while analysts and commentators are quick to share opinions online, very few truly understand the risks involved inside the octagon. Everybody has opinions. Everybody needs money. But not everyone knows what it's like to live this, he added. Despite these concerns, criticism toward Aspinall continues to mount. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Georgi Prochaska recently questioned the legitimacy of Aspinall's injury, joining a growing list of fighters who have cast doubt on the situation. Prochaska took to social media to share how he would have handled such a scenario, suggesting he would have continued fighting regardless of the pain. The backlash underscores the unforgiving nature of MMA, where injuries are often scrutinized rather than sympathized with. Yet medical professionals close to Aspinall insist that his vision and long-term health were genuinely at risk, calling it a significant and potentially career-impacting concern. As the debate intensifies, Aspinall remains out of the spotlight, focusing on recovery and family. For now, the full extent of his injury and its implications for his career remain uncertain. But one thing is clear, the conversation about fighter safety has once again taken center stage in the UFC. Move on to another news. UFC veteran Matt Brown has spoken out strongly in defense of Tom Aspinall, calling out critics who have questioned the heavyweight champion's decision to stop fighting after suffering a serious eye injury at UFC 321. During a recent episode of ITV Fighter versus the Writering on MMA Fighting, Brown expressed his frustration with the growing narrative that Aspinall somehow quit or exaggerated the damage caused by Cyril Gaines' accidental eye poke. I've been really disgusted with that narrative, Brown said. Everybody's blaming Tom Aspinall, and for what? Where did this even come from? How did he do anything wrong? He criticized those suggesting that Aspinall should have continued the fight despite losing vision in one eye. People saying, oh, he should have just sucked it up and kept fighting with one eye. Get out of here with that. What are you talking about? We're not in a death match. This isn't Dillon Street Fightery or some video game. This is a professional sport. Brown emphasized that mixed martial arts, while violent, is still a regulated athletic competition that prioritizes safety. Tom wants to win, but he also wants to give himself the best chance of doing it the right way. Fighting blind in one eye isn't brave. It's reckless, he added. The veteran welterweight, known for his toughness and lengthy UFC career, said he understands the warrior mentality that drives fighters to push through pain, but insisted that there's a clear line between courage and self-destruction. Fans and analysts sitting on their couches don't realize what it's like in there, Brown continued. When your vision goes, you can't defend yourself properly. That's not toughness. That's risking permanent damage. Brown's comments come amid an ongoing wave of skepticism from some fighters and pundits who believe Aspinall could have continued despite the injury. However, medical reports and statements from Aspinall's camp camp suggests the eye damage was serious and could have led to long-term consequences had he kept fighting. In standing up for Aspinall, Brown highlighted a broader issue in combat sports: the toxic expectation that fighters must always endure severe injury to prove their toughness. This is a sport, Brown concluded. It's about skill, strategy, and longevity. Tom made the right call, and anyone who's ever been in that cage should respect that. Move on to another news. Dr. Brian Sutterer, a well-known sports medicine physician, has offered a detailed explanation of Tom Aspinall's eye injury sustained at UFC 321, clarifying why the fight could not have safely continued. If a fighter can't see, they can't protect themselves, Dr. Sutterer explained. And if you can't protect yourself, the fight has to be stopped. It's really that simple. Despite this medical logic, the controversy surrounding Aspinall's injury has intensified. UFC CEO Dana White recently made subtle remarks implying that the injury may not have been serious enough to warrant a stoppage, suggesting that only Aspinall himself knows how bad it truly was. Those comments sparked further debate among fans and fighters, questioning the legitimacy of the heavyweight champion's condition. Former two-division UFC champion Henry Cejudo also weighed in, recalling his own experience with eye pokes during a recent interview with ESPN. "It's happened to me and it happens to everyone," Cejudo said. "But the Nevada State Athletic Commission needs to step up. The first eye poke should automatically cost a point. The second one should mean disqualification. Enough is enough." Cejudo urged Aspinall not to take criticism personally, not even from Dana White. Meanwhile, Aspinall's father, Andy Aspinall, provided a concerning update on his son's condition in a recent YouTube video. He revealed that Tom is still unable to see out of his right eye days after the fight. "We came back to England and arranged another medical appointment following the initial treatment in Abu Dhabi," Andy said. "The early tests showed no long-term damage, but since Saturday night, Tom's condition has actually worsened." Andy added that one of their friends, a UFC doctor, helped schedule a private appointment at a specialist clinic in England for further evaluation. "We saw an eye specialist who ran a complete series of tests," he explained. "They confirmed there's still swelling and irritation that's preventing vision from returning properly. While the long-term prognosis remains hopeful, the short-term effects have raised serious concerns about Aspinall's health and recovery timeline. As medical professionals continue to monitor his progress, the situation serves as a reminder of how dangerous and unpredictable eye injuries can be in combat sports." Move on to another news. Sean Strickland has publicly criticized the UFC after Bryce Mitchell revealed he had to rely on a friend to fix his broken nose because medical costs were too expensive. Mitchell explained in a video that he broke his nose during training in Searcy, Arkansas, and couldn't afford the $2,000 bill doctors were quoting to set it straight. Asking for help online, he said, "If anyone in Searcy can fix my nose for free, please reach out. Doctors charge thousands just to pull and reset it." A short time later, Mitchell posted an update saying his friend managed to fix his nose for free. He thanked God for a painless recovery and admitted that he acted out of panic. "I wasn't in pain, but I worried my nose might not heal straight. When it happened, my survival instinct kicked in. I just thought about how expensive it'd be. I realize now that came off as cheap, and I apologize," Mitchell said. He added that he's usually fine paying for medical care, giving examples from past injuries. "When I had a big splinter in my hand, it cost $600 to remove, and that was fair. When I ripped my nuts in half, it cost $50. That was the best $1,250 I ever spent." Despite joking about it, Mitchell ended by expressing gratitude to his friend Josh King for fixing his nose and saving him money, saying, Sean Strickland noticed the story and quickly called out the UFC in a sharp Instagram comment. He wrote, "Well, I was wrong. You have to have a fight book to get medical from the UFC. Now, what a joke." Strickland's remarks highlight a growing concern among fighters who feel unsupported by the promotion outside active fight contracts. His criticism sparked debate within the MMA community about fighter healthcare, pay, and the lack of consistent medical coverage for training injuries, issues that continue to draw attention as fighters risk their health year-round to stay ready for the octagon.